We are live. Saturday night. See who shows up tonight. My earbud felt a little funky in my ear. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Is anyone showing up tonight so far? So we got one person in here. Say hello, guys. Make sure you can hear me all right. Make sure you let me know if the mic is good and all that other stuff. Got a couple people in here. We are good there. Oh, let's see. Got a couple people. Say that. Don't be shy, guys. Go in and say hi. I'm not gonna bite. I promise. So Elvis is waiting. Yeah, here he is. Let's see. So we got one thumbs up. We got two people in here. Had four people in here for a minute. How's it going, Mr. Matt? Or hi, Little James, Real Topics and Gaming. What's up? Let's see. Anyone else in here? I know I see some people in there, so feel free to say hi. What's up? Not much, James. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So we got James. We got the gaming one. Who else we got? This Diet Coke make me burp a little bit. Who else we got in here? Come on, guys. Say hello. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. My kids are going up and down the stairs. I don't know if you guys can pick that stuff up on the headset, but I live in an active house. My mother-in-law and I have three kids, and I'm married, so it's very busy. Oh yeah, we have two dogs and a cat, so it gets kind of loud in here. All right, so we're going to get into it, guys. So we see a few people in here. Only two people out of the four people have said hi. I only see one thumbs up in there, but I guess that's a good start for now. There we are, five people, more people. Matt, do you think a 1911 and a shotgun are a good shit as fans weapons, or should I get a rifle also? Those will work fine, but a rifle's a good way to go too. Everything's going good. Hey, what's up, Aquino, man? Hey, congrats, man. I saw the pitch, so I saw the picture, man. Congrats on that graduation there. So, got to fill me in where you're heading out and all that good stuff, bro. I heard the carbine quartermaster armor. Nope, have not heard of that. Let's see, we got anyone else in here? Let's see. All right, so what we're gonna get into it, guys. We get about 7 people in here. I know a few people in here. One of my friends is actually in here. Good dude. Congratulate Mr. Aquino there. So last time I saw him, he was in and out to Army basic training. It looks like he got through that all right. So congrats out there, buddy. Iraq, hopefully in January. There you go, man. So everyone go say hello to him and give him congrats. He's a good dude. Let's see. So I'm in JBLM. Cool. So basically, guys, what we got going on here is usually, you know how this sets up is at the end of every week, so every Saturday. Basically, what I do Saturday evening, 7:30 ish, is when I usually come online. Is I answer questions from the last week up the street from me. There you go. So I answer questions from the last week. And any type of questions that I see or stuff like that, I'll ask those questions and we'll just cover them right here for you. But there was a catch. This week there was no questions. This week it was kind of funny. Most of the comments I were looking at is, "Hey, I'm getting this gun. Hey, I'm getting this gun." I'm like, "Congratulations, congratulations, good job." Giving everyone little hearts just to let you know I'm there. So I had a lot of people that were commenting that they got new guns, so I guess that's a good thing too. But there was no actual questions to answer, so I got a couple things I'll be talking about here. So this is pretty much turning into a hangout. So we're just gonna be hanging out tonight. We talking about whatever we feel like talking about. Have a few topics I want to cover because I am getting a new pistol here soon, and I'm gonna give you an idea of what I'm planning on getting. See what your thoughts on it and stuff like that. I got a couple other things I wanted to talk about, and that's about it. And how I was shadow banned, which is always a fun one too. So we are doing good today out here in Connecticut, minus the ridiculous humidity. so, so how is everyone else doing out there today? You guys good to go? So I know we got 8 people in here, 3 thumbs up. So you guys all good to go out there, having a good time in your life and all that, and your little areas. Let's see. So we'll just jump right into it. So I am planning on getting a new pistol, guys. And I've been going over this and stuff like this. I'll be getting I believe it's next week or a week and a half, give or take. I've been going over and over what I want to get, and I wasn't quite sure. I've been kind of going back and forth. I came to if annoying annoying when people get shadow banned on. Oh no, I hear you, Emerson. Yeah, I'll talk about that too. If you guys want, I'll just tell you straight up what happened with that. That was just ridiculous. All you got to do is go take a look at my last video, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So, hot New Jersey and hot dogs on the grill, good to go, man. So can't go wrong with some hot dogs. My favorite hot dogs as of late are those Nathan ones, those big old Nathan ballpark ones. So they go great on the grill. And it's funny we picked it up because my middle son's name is Nathan, so he picked up the Nathan hot dogs, and we love those hot dogs, but he doesn't like hot dogs. Go figure. but those ones are really good ones out on the grill. But yeah, if I I definitely get shadow banned occasionally, and I actually just happened on my last video. Um, if you guys look back in the last video that I did, I only got like, I remember when I first released it. After about 3 hours of being released, I think I had 100 views on it, if 100 views, which that isn't normal for me. Oscar Mayer with cheese, there you go too, man. That's a good way to go. And that's usually 100 views in that amount of time is like, what the heck is going on? Were you speaking on truth topics? YouTube doesn't like that. No, man. I was just talking about the OLIGHT. Every time I do a gun-mounted light video, basically what happens is that one automatically gets demonetized. So the way how I do my videos, so the first thing in the morning, after I have my breakfast and my first cup of coffee, I make my second cup of coffee, and I do my videos. So I try to do my videos on Monday, Wednesday, and then I try to have the live video on Saturday. I didn't have one on Monday this week. I had a little bit of a stomach bug, but I did come back and release it on Thursday, which was a little bit different than usual. Ah! Whoa, my stand just kind of collapsed on me there. Let's see. Hold on here, guys. So that's what happens. There we go. Let's see. Well, that's what happens when you do a live video, stuff like that. My stand actually collapsed on me. I bopped it and the thing twisted. It's a twist and lock in place one. So I bopped it, it twisted when you got to see my basement ceiling. How's that sound? But anyway, so what we were talking about, yeah, that the OLIGHT video that I did. So occasionally, I do videos, all right, and your average, I do my videos in the Monday morning, so I got to adjust everything. Kind of got knocked over here. So if you guys got sick to that little, roller coaster ride you got for a live camera, but basically speaking, there we go. We're all set. So actually, before we get into it, can you guys hear me all right? Because everything got yanked out a little bit there. So if you can, just give me a thumbs up or just say, yeah, you're still good, man. So at least one person will tell me, and I'll be good to go. But basically speaking, I do my videos in the morning, and then I edit those videos. Usually it takes me, my average video usually takes about 2 to 3 hours to do. Oh, I'm good, Joe? Okay, that's good. So my average video takes me about 2 to 3 hours to do. So I do the video, and then I don't have an editor or anything like that. So I edit my own stuff. So I go through my editors and I edit the video and stuff like that too. Then I post it, then I make the thumbnails, and I set all that stuff up, and then I prepare it for my Facebook and my for my Facebook and my Instagram too. I have Instagram TV. I'm also on Facebook. I prep it for that. I'm getting ready to go. Oh, good. Everyone can hear me, so that's good. So I get ready for that, and then I finish, and by the afternoon I'm done with the video, and then I wait till about 7:30 p.m. at night, because usually what happens, if I take a look at the statistics of my audience when you guys show up, it's usually around 7:30 Eastern time is when you people are on or you see the videos. And that's more like because of the West Coast, so you guys are getting home from work, and the East Coast, you guys are getting ready to settle down for the night. So that's like the ideal time for me to release my videos. So I prep it up and I keep the videos private so no one can see it except me. Um, and then I set up the monetization on it and stuff like that too. And usually I'm good to go until the video posted. But what happened is I set the monetization up on it, and it was basically based on the OLIGHT, which is just a flashlight. Just a flashlight that you put on the gun, and they make hand flashlights too. And then I took a look at it. I was still in private and was already demonetized. I'm like, I haven't made it go live yet. What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, this is ridiculous. So then I sent in a review. I'm like, well, can you review this? I mean, I haven't even gone live with this video, and I never got, I never I got an alert whether or not the review went through. To this point, it's still demonetized. And then, but I noticed I still released it at my normal time because that's the time I released a video. and it just wasn't going anywhere. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And my video's just not going anywhere. Literally, there was maybe within the first 3 hours about 100 people. My average from the first few hours is about 300 people from my videos and stuff. Like, we're in the first hour is like 300 people. I'm just like looking. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm just like watching, and I look at the statistics of it. It was like push for 2 minutes, and it just dropped. Like it wasn't even allowed to do it. So I was like looking, and then I tried going on Facebook to try to post the same exact video on Facebook. Facebook wouldn't let me post a video, which is kind of weird. And then I went over to try to post it on Instagram TV, and Instagram TV wouldn't let me post it over there as well. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm just talking about a gun mounted flashlight. I don't know if it's modifying a firearm and YouTube frowns on that, but I'm just like, it's about a flashlight, and you're shadow banning me on this, and it was just ridiculous. But anytime I've done like a flashlight review like that, like when I did the Enforce and stuff like that too, probably just saying this word, it'll trigger a robot and stuff like that. So if I ever want to monetize this, but basically I'm just like, what the heck is going on? So yeah, I got shadow banned on the OLIGHT video. I'm like, that's just ridiculous. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, I had a laser, so that must be scary. So I got to join more of your lives, Matt. You inspired me to get 1911. Hey, yeah, it's a good gun, man. You can't go wrong with the 1911. Got a heck of a history behind it. It's just a good shooter. It's a good gun. If you take care of it right, it'll take care of you. And there's so many makes and models out there. They're just great guns. They just absolutely are great guns. So I'm hoping you enjoy that. Now the trick is finding the ammo for it, because I know out here finding ammo is a problem, right? But anyway, so that's what happened. So that video got shadow banned. I'm like, are you ridiculous? And now every time I go to it, there's like no new views on it. I'm like, okay, that's just ridiculous. So I put the right tags in there and everything else too. So it is what it is. So just a future note: if anyone wants to get on YouTube and they want to do gun videos and become a gun channel or something like that, a conservative channel or whatever you want to do on it, just be forewarned. It ain't like it used to be. When I first started the channel, it was right before there was some crazy stuff, and it started off with like it was PewDiePie, I believe it was doing something with his channel, and then it went down to all the gun channels. It came to gun channels, and PewDiePie's like a gamer or something like that, and then everyone was getting demonetized like crazy. I literally had started right before that happened, and within a year of me doing the videos, all that stuff happened. So when a lot of people with YouTube, when they start out for like the gun channels and stuff like that, it was based on people wanted to see it and stuff like that. After that hit and they start attacking us and stuff like that, we start getting shadow banned and whatnot. It's a lot harder to make videos and to get the information out there. You got to try to keep up with the algorithms and all this other stuff. And I don't even know half the algorithms. I just know you got to post daily, and you have to have people like and subscribe and stuff like that. Yeah, I know it is. It really is. They really are, Edmund or Edmundo. They really are. So, but it's just like when I do a lot of the videos, it's fine. But when I do like a flashlight video, I get shadow banned. But there's a lot of videos I've had in the past too that I'm like, what the heck is going on? It doesn't go anywhere, and it's like it hits like an imaginary wall that nothing happens, and the video doesn't go anywhere, and that's just what happens. So I'll let you guys know about that. That's what it is. If you think about starting one of these channels, you got to deal with that stuff. It's running the gun tube channel isn't like it used to be. I have a couple different platforms that I use. My primary platform is YouTube, which is always here. You can see me do this here. Then I try to take these videos and I try to put them on my Facebook page, but that never really goes very far. And then I try to take the stuff, I usually put it on my Instagram, but there's more fishing stuff on Instagram and family stuff and whatnot. So, and then I have my Patreon, and Patreon, honestly, is like I have a hard enough time running the YouTube channel with trying to get everything else in. So Patreon is for the people that would like to support this channel. I know I really need to do more at Patreon. I really should go out there and help you guys out, because you guys do help me keep me funded and running. But it's hard for me to manage all those pages. So I try to do most of my stuff on YouTube. But here I am. But I'm just giving you a warning for if you're going to start a YouTube channel, when it comes to firearms and stuff like that, everything you say is on egg. You have to walk on eggshells and all that other stuff. And it's kind of a pain in the butt. But it is what it is, and it sucks. But hey, we're here right now. We're doing a video. We are live. I'm hanging out with you guys. And we're going to have a decent night. That's what I hope. So now what I wanted to talk to you guys about is we're actually going to be getting into this. I actually got a little list here. So I'm planning on getting a new gun here coming up in the next week to week and a half. And I've been going over this and going over. My wife gave me a budget. That's how we work. I've been going over this and going over this. I'm like, okay, what do I want? I've been trying to figure out what I want to get. It's sad when you know so much. How's it going, Mateo? Good to see you, man. So it's sad when you know so much about guns. You've been around guns so much. It's a hard to, you can't make a decision over the next one that you want to get. But so I've been going over a couple options. So there's a couple things that were in the criteria that I wanted. So first things first is I wanted it to be a 45. What's up, Joe? Oh yeah, Joe, you're already here. You're just saying hi, Mateo. Sorry, it's a rough night. My camera already fell once, right? So, but anyway, my criteria was it was going to be a 45. My goal was going to be 45. It's either going to be a compact or a full size pistol. When it comes to my pistols, is I mainly have 9 millimeter. I only have 145, and that's my 1911. And I love that gun. Hands down, I love that gun. But my favorite cartridge to this day is still 45 ACP. So I want to go out and I want to get another 45. So I was looking at that, but there's one gun in there that's not a 45, and I'll talk about why I put that one on the list too. So I have a couple ideas of what I'm thinking about. Now, originally, like I said, my wife has me on a budget for this one. Like the person in front of a vending machine trying to, yeah, tell you what you mean. You're like, oh, I want that one and that one and that one. Or like one of those claw things when you turn it on and it grabs it and releases. I'm like, oh man, you put more money in to try to get more. But anyway, but basically, the guns that I chose, like I've been going over these and I know all these guns. I've had hands on all these guns and stuff like that too. So this is what it's come down to. So when it comes to the 45, there's only one 9 millimeter in here. The 45 would either be the G30, Glock 30, so either G30, G30S, or it would be the SIG 220, or it would be the HK 45. If they had the HK 45 compact, that would be awesome, but the place I go to, it never has a compact. They always have the HK 45. I would, Mateo, but the problem with that out here in this state, you're only allowed to have 10 round magazines. So the biggest downside to the FN 45, or the FN was the FNP 45, is it is a 15 round magazine. They don't make a whole lot of 10 round magazines for it. And in something with a grip that big, and if you only have 10 rounds, it's kind of ridiculous. So I was looking at it, as much as I'd love to get like a FNP 45, that's the one I've been looking at for years. Out here, it's just not something you can get, you can really find on. So, but those are my main choice. So I'm thinking the G30, the 220, or the HK 45. Now I threw one other gun in the list. Yeah, they are. HKs are cool. That's why I like them. They're cool. I really like the compact version. I really like the compact version of bigger because it's a big gun. I like full size gun. That's a pretty big gun. Now it's not quite big as the was it Mark 25 or whatever that was, but that's a pretty big gun. So, but I was looking at the compact one with HK45, but I don't think my FFL will have that because he never has that there. But I know he usually has the FN45. Yeah, SIG 220 is my choice. Had the HK45C, but it had a major malfunction. Though it was fixed, I lost my trust in it. No, I hear you there, Phil. So that's the thing. So I've been looking at them. Now the SIG that I would be getting would be a standard. Oh yeah. USP. I've looked at that too. Those are definitely cool guns too, but that one's a little bit. The biggest problem with those is the price range. HK 45 and USP 45 are kind of pushing the boundaries of the price range my wife gave me. So 15 of 9 millimeter, 8 of 45. It depends on if you can hit, man. That's what I mean. That's what matters. You can have 15 rounds and miss every single one, or you could have 3 rounds and hit all three. It depends on the shooter. Yep, that's what it comes down to. So, and then the final gun that I had on list, this one isn't a 45, would be the M18. Now, the reason I'd go with a 6-hour M18 is because I love my M17, but I can never carry it anymore because that's become my home defense gun. And that one's locked in my little hand safe upstairs, and my wife likes that one. So if I'm going to get one that I can carry on a daily basis, it end up being the M18. But my main goal right now, because I almost can't find 9mm ammo, I can find 45 more, would be a 45. So if you're limited to 10 rounds, then I'd go. Yeah, that's one of the things I always look at Mateo. So if you're only limited to the 10 rounds that we go to, so I'm thinking it might go G30 is the route I might be going, just because that's definitely well within the price range. It's a good shooter. It's actually a really good shooter. It's a very fat kind of tank of a little, almost like, I don't know, what do you call a G30? I mean, it's a compact, but it's smaller than a compact, but it ain't a subcompact. So it's kind of in between a subcompact and a compact, but it's a good balance. And you have standard magazines of 10 rounds in it. It usually comes with 3 magazines. So I'm kind of going the route of the G30, but I'm not sure yet. So I'm just running in there. Maybe you guys have some ideas on that. So if you guys were to choose and you were stuck in a state like mine, a 10 round state, what would it be for you guys? Would you go with the G30, the 220, or the HK45? Which one would you guys go for? So go shoot, go throw me in there. Let's see what you guys think about it. Yeah, that's what I think too. That's what I've been looking at, Joe. So I've looked at all the guns and stuff like that too, and the one that gets the best reviews by far is the Glock 30. The 220 gets great reviews too, absolutely, because that's been around forever. But that's I'm looking more of the compact size. So I don't know. So have you ever used a 45 in combat, and is it reliable? I've never served in the military, so I wouldn't know. The way how it worked, bro, is I don't know, care to call me bro. It won't be the bro, it'd be bro. The way how we did it, man, is when I was in the service, I got out of the Marine Corps in 2006, after I did 2 tours in Iraq. And during the time in Iraq, basically, I carried an M203, so I carried a grenade launcher. My primary was the 40 millimeter grenade launcher, breech loading grenade launcher that was attached to my M16A2, and the backup was the M16A2 that was attached to the grenade launcher. So I didn't have a pistol. I've done videos on that. So most infantry guys, believe it or not, we don't have a whole lot of pistol training, and most of us don't carry pistols. But in my time of service, there's only two pistols that you'd find in active duty. That would either be a Beretta, the M9, or it would be a 1911. That's what was in the service. All the special operations guys carried whatever the branch of service was, because I worked with several of the branches. I worked with the ODA teams. I worked with SEAL teams when I was out there. There's at least one SEAL team we worked with a couple of reasons. Well, we didn't quite work with them. We came across them a lot, and we did that type of thing with them. The pistols that were on their hip at the time were 1911s. The ODA teams, all the guys, the pistols on their hip at the time were 1911. The Marine Force Recon, because we didn't have MARSOC yet, was 1911. So as a young kid, like I was 18, 19. I got out of the Marine Corps when I was 23. So a young kid like me is I would like the 227, but the thing is I haven't been able to find it out here. If I remember, James, they're actually SIG's no longer making the 227. They stopped doing that, which sucks because that was probably one of my favorite handguns. But I haven't seen one of those, and because of it, that's a little bit out of my price range. So 220 is when I go to the FFL, it's a little less than a 227. Like I said, but my wife gave me a budget, so I'm a budgeter. So we don't just go out and buy everything that we want. We take our time and we make plans to go get it. So the 227, as much as I'd want it, if it was even there, I would want it. And what that does sucks if that's true, because they said they weren't going to be producing the 227s anymore, and I think that's ridiculous. If you guys don't know what a 227 is, a 6-hour 227 is a classic SIG, so that means a double to single action, but it's a double stack 45. It's basically a 226 with a fatter grip, and it's based off of the 226, fits in 226 holsters, but it's got a fatter grip because it's got double stack 10 rounds of 45 ACP. So that would be an option, because that's always been one of my favorite guns, but because I don't see that very much out here now, it would be the 220. Now I'd love a Legion, but those are way above my price range out there. So that's why, because we're looking right now, it might be the G30. Now, there's a couple things I've been seeing about the G30. Maybe you guys, I don't know if you guys confirmed this, maybe you guys have more experience with the G30. I mean, I've held them before, I haven't actually shot them. I mean, I've shot the Glock, the G21, and stuff like that. I don't trust the HK45C. It was awesome before it crapped out. I mean, I believe it, Phil. I believe it, Phil. It looks like my video is getting choppy. Is it getting choppy for you guys? At least on my camera, it's getting a little bit choppy. But anyway, so I've been looking at these videos of it, and I always get good reviews of 220s because everyone loves a 220. But I've seen so many good reviews on the G30, and I was curious. I'm like, well, what's so good about this gun? I mean, because in my mind, it's a small gun. Well, small if you call it, size-wise. It's a smaller gun, and it shoots a 45 ACP. And in my experience, whenever I ever shot a smaller gun with 45 ACP, it was a little snappy, right? And it was a little snappy, a little freezy. Yeah, see, I noticed it a little bit freezing down here. It could be that it's hot. It could be my routers up there. I don't know. But hopefully that video doesn't crap out on us today. But so I was curious, what's so great about the G30? And then I'm watching these people shoot it, and I was actually amazed. For the gun its size, the recoil for the 45 in a small gun like that, it really wasn't that snappy, like at all. I was like looking, I'm like, wow, that's not too bad. I love 45. That's like my favorite hands down caliber. And I was watching it, and I was kind of interested. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Now I have some holsters that I guarantee you that it would fit in, because when you have enough guns, what ends up happening is you start getting tired of having to buy another custom holster, because you have gun, and every time you get a gun, you have to get a custom holster. Then you start getting leather holsters, because multiple guns can fit in leather holsters, but then you realize I still need to get a new custom holster for a new gun. So with the G30, I have a couple holsters that would probably still fit in, so I wouldn't have to go out and get another holster. But if I had to go out and get another holster, I'd go out and get another holster. Right. But every video that I've seen on it, it's been a really good review, and it looks like there's a really gun to shoot. So if you guys have experience with the G30, let me know, or the G30S, or C, my bad, I'll let me know. Here's for the gun that has 22 or 9. 22 or 9. I'm not a huge fan of the 22 out here. I actually don't even own a 22. Between Desert Eagle 1911, Desert Eagle 1911, Glock 19, which did you choose for carry? Desert Eagle 1911, never heard of that, but there's the Desert Elite 1911s, and there's the Scorpion 1911s. That's a 6-hour Scorpion 1911. They have the Kimber Desert Warrior 1911s, which, there's a story on that one, man. There's definitely a story on that one, but I'd rather choose one of those. But basically speaking, is when I was overseas, my second tour, I just turned 21 overseas, and I was sitting there, I was just like looking at these gun magazines my buddies were getting sent over there. I was trying to decide what my next gun would be, and I was just like, man, this would be cool. It was 04, 05 is when I was out there, and I was trying to figure out what gun I'm like, because I was 21. I'm like, oh yeah, I can go out and get myself a gun now. Go figure. I'm a Marine. My second tour in Iraq. I'm working direct support of, it was JSOC at the time with a grenade launcher, and I was 21, excited that I could get a pistol when I got home. You know what I mean? But basically, is I was looking at these magazines, and there's two guns that caught my eye, and that was the Kimber Desert Warrior, and that thing was if you guys have not seen a Kimber Desert Warrior, that is a sexy pistol. Kimber Desert Warrior, that's 1911, and then the other one was Ruger P345 PR. No, 22. Not blasphemy, man. Not blasphemy. I just don't have one. Honestly, I don't have one. And then, honestly, the honest truth is when I teach my classes, I don't use a 22. When I teach my classes, I don't want to wise up there, but when I teach my classes, basically speaking, is people want a defensive caliber. So what I do for my classes is I get a defensive caliber. So that is I usually teach them on a 9mm, but I also get them the option to use the 45 or the 38 special that I usually have. So, and those are the guns that they usually shoot. So I don't actually take a 22 to my classes, go figure. So, but anyway, but basically speaking, the two guns I were really excited about at that time, this is '04, was that Kimber Desert Warrior 1911. That was a beautiful gun. And then the Ruger P345 PR, which at the time was, if I remember, the 2004 pistol of the year. And I was looking at it because it was really cool, and I didn't know a whole lot about pistols at the time, because in my mind there was Berettas, there's 1911s, and I've seen Glock things before, but I've only seen one type of Glock, and the police always use that. So I wanted something like that. So I looked at the Ruger P345 PR. I'm like, this thing's cool. It's different. I really like the look of it, and it's 2004 gun of the year. That's really cool. Needless to say, we got back home, and I was actually in Connecticut at the time because I was home on leave. I went to a gun shop, and I didn't know what it was like to buy a pistol in the first place. So I went to the gun shop, and I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. I was looking at these beautiful 1911s that they had there. I didn't see either one of those guns. So I picked one up. It was a Smith. I'm like, man, this thing's great. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I want to bring this home today. It's what I said to it. Browning Half Hour, that's a good gun, man. A good gun, another classic good gun. Then I want to bring it home today, and he looked at me. He's like, you can't bring it home today. I'm like, why not? And he says, because it doesn't work like that. There are certain laws that when it comes to buying these guns. At the time, there's a waiting period. So and I'm like, well, I have my military ID. I'm active duty. I'm just home on leave right now. Doesn't that kind of, fit into like some sort of thing where, whatever I get? He's like, oh, not really. He's like, all it means is you just have to wait, and it's going to be another at least 2 weeks before it comes in. I was on leave. I'm like, man, I'm going home in like a few days, or I'm going back to the base in a few days. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I didn't get that one. Then we got back to the base later on in 2005. I got married. And then my wife actually surprised me with one Christmas, our first Christmas together, with the Ruger P345 PR, which was my very first actual pistol that I owned, because she knew how much I was looking at that thing, and I actually thought that thing was cool. And it was cool after a couple of years I had it, and then I realized that it was an okay gun, and then I grew up a little bit. But anyway, that's a story of, that's actually a story of my first gun. But that's what it was, is I was that Desert Warrior, and then that Ruger that I wanted to get. Fast forwarding now, I have a few guns. I got a few. I had my hands on a few of them along the years and stuff like that too. But it is what it is. Well, anyway, so what do you guys think? So far, I've seen a lot of people give a thumbs up to the G30. What the 227 people said that too. So right now we'll go. Let's say the P30 or not P30, the P30. Oh, that's the HK. We'll go with the 30, G30, and the 220. So what do you guys think? So what are your thoughts on that? Because we'll see where it goes. All right. I just want to hear what you guys say on it. Enjoying my Diet Coke. We ordered out tonight, so I had actually a pretty something I hadn't had in a long time. I had an eggplant wrap. That was actually pretty good. So anyone want to say anything about those guns? If not, it's going to get kind of quiet. G30, yeah, I saw you've been talking about G30 Joe a lot. Oh yeah, G30S. Now, actually, that's a question for you guys because I thought the G30S was only Gen 3. I'm not a big fan of the Magnum Research stuff, yo-yo. Me, if it goes to a 1911, if I were to go get another 1911, it would probably be a Springfield Armory is what I'd probably get. 220 all day. Slim frame, shoots well, perfect. Fill piece. So we got 220, we got G30 so far. Both thumbs up on those ones. But yeah, I mean, I already have one 1911. I don't need another one as much as it's funny how that works. Is like I'm like a weird. I don't know if you consider me a collector. I'm a weird when it comes to my guns. So I have one 1911. I don't need another 1911. So it's cool. Now, if it ever breaks down, then yeah, I'll get a 1911. Smith and Wesson makes really good 45s for some reason. No, they do. And the M&Ps, they make some good ones too. I've had M&P. I had an M&P for like 8 years. I don't want another one of those. Those are good guns, but I don't want another one of those. Someone struggling with weight, are there any exercises you can suggest? Well, you're looking at a dude that struggles with weight too, brother. Actually, we're trying to get rid of all the junk crap in the house we have right now, and we're going to be going back on this thing right here, the Code Red diet. Um, for years, my weight has been going up and down, man. For a while, when I first started my YouTube channel, I was actually a fitness coach. And I was teaching a lot of stuff. I was big into body training or body weight or weightlifting and bodybuilding, both strength training and bodybuilding is what I do. And I was in pretty good shape at the time when I started the channel. I did that for a long time, and then I stopped. I just kind of fell off of that. I just got tired of doing that whole thing, like a hammer fire kind of guy. That's the thing, Phil. I am a hammer fire kind of guy. I am. So that's why I'm going back and forth with the 220 and the G30. I like Glocks. I don't hate Glocks, but I like SIGs too. All right, so I'm kind of going back and forth between the two. That's why I'm kind of throwing it out there for your guys' opinion. But for a while, I did the whole fitness coach for thing. I did that for I don't know like a couple years. I was doing that, and then I just kind of started falling off it because I broke my wrist in about 3 different places. I was trying to get a toy off my son off my grandfather's my father's garage, and my son had thrown it up there, and then I slipped off the ladder and fell, and I broke my wrist in 3 separate places. And after that, like I just couldn't do stuff. I fell so far behind. 220 is a great gun. I've seen the G30s be kind of finicky. Oh, I didn't know that. I've never heard of G30 be finicky. And then I kind of fell off the whole fitness thing for a while. But I've always struggled with my weight. Even when I was in the Marine Corps, I struggled with my weight. I was, if I wasn't out in the field or training like crazy, I was always struggling with weight. I drank a lot and ate a lot of beer, or I had a lot of beer and drank a lot. But so what we did is last year, if you guys remember watching videos around this time last year, I was a heck of a lot thinner. I was actually about 220 back then. I was 220. Right now, I'm at 270. That was a lot of weight that I gained. I had a couple things that happened. First thing is the whole COVID thing happened and experienced shoot 5 gap. Nope, I don't have any experience with like 45 gap. That's kind of those short 45s. So I don't have any experience, but I know Lee Ermey used to be a huge fan of that. So I gained a lot of weight in that time. And what happened is we had the COVID lockdowns, and then I had to stay home for a while. And then we had a bunch of junk food, and we were prepping and stuff like that. We were pretty much eating food, and we kind of started getting lazy. Just kind of got stuff like that, and that started adding up. And then I started having leg issues, and that's when I had the blood clots that formed in my leg. That's because I had a genetic disease passed down to me, varicose veins, and I literally almost couldn't walk. It was to the point where it was so painful to walk, it was ridiculous. And I was just pretty much sat around nonstop for almost 6 months because the VA was taking their sweet time to get things done, and I was just miserable, just waiting for the pain to end, just waiting for whatever to do. And All of that just added up, and in that short time frame, I went from 224 to 270. So, and what my secret at that time was, because I had lost weight to get to 220, was this right here. Um, Basically, it was a hardcore keto diet that I went on to, because my knees are shot. So what I do for when it comes to my fitness these days is I walk. I throw a pack on, and I go walking for a long period of time. I did run for a while, but then my knees would get so swollen at the end of the days I just couldn't do it very much. So for me, my wife got me onto this guy right here, like I said, and it worked great. And I lost a ton of weight. It took time, but it was good, and it was very strict. But it took a long time. But anyway, so we're not getting into that. So I'm seeing more gun stuff. Yes, CZ does make some good 45s out there. They definitely do make some good 45s out there. But that wasn't quite on my list. So I've thought about that. I've picked up CZs before, and they are pretty good guns. They feel good in my hand and stuff like that too. So is a kill. Well, yeah, that's what some people do say, yo-yo. But like I said earlier, in that as a FNX 45 it's a double stack. So 10 fog makes a really good 45. Never heard of 10 fog. So basically, out here in this state, when you're only allowed by law to have 10 round magazines by state law, have 10 round magazines, so that's kind of out of the question because most people don't even sell that out there. But there are a couple of good things. So when you go to the bigger bore, you usually have standard capacity magazines, right? So you had 10 Foglio. Never heard of it, Mateo. Never heard of it, man. So when you go with a bigger bore, you usually have 8 to 10 rounds. That's your standard 45. What you have, unless you have like a Glock 21, and that is 13 rounds. We think of the Grand Power and the rotating barrel. I've seen a couple of those, and they're pretty cool. And I look at it, it reminds me of the Beretta on the Storm. The what is it? The Storm. The Storm. Those guys, they have the rotating barrel in it. They're double stacked 1911s now. Yeah, they are. They're double stacked 1911s. But the thing is with the FNX, the FNP, and the Tactical 45, is because of the fat grip. A lot of people, if you guys have ever held a G30, it's a pretty fat grip. It's a pretty fat grip for a gun, or if you had a G21, it's a very fat grip for a gun. If you hold a FNX or FNP, it's even fatter. So a lot of people couldn't even get their hand on that gun. They're like, this thing is just like massive. So at first I was actually excited about that when it came out. I was in Arizona, I was in Prescott, I was checking it out, and I picked it up. I'm like, man, I don't like this thing because it felt so weird in my hand. It was like, I couldn't even clench my hand down. I'm like, this thing is just huge. So I thought about that a while ago, but I'm not being that. So it's EAA, all right. So it's like EAA. Yeah, I've experience with EAAs, the Vindicators, or was it the Windicators and stuff like that. They make some pretty good revolvers out there too. So that's cool. But I don't know. We'll see. So right now, like I said, it's looking is what I've been looking at. Is it'll probably end up being the G30, maybe the G30, unless I find a good used like 220 or like if I find a used 220 Legion, that would be awesome. Although I'd rather get my own personal Legion, but we'll see when it comes. So it's right now it's down. It's really tough for me. Yeah, PX4 Storm. It's really tough for me because it's like I like Glocks. I really like SIGs. When it comes to shooting, I shoot Glocks better than I shoot SIGs. I did a video on that a while ago. So, yeah, it is. It's a pretty good. I was actually impressed by the Windicator. I was actually really impressed with it. So I shoot Glocks good, or I shoot Glocks really good, and I shot my SIG pretty good. I actually shot my SIG really good with grouping, but I wasn't as consistent as I was with the Glocks, and I did a video on that. So that's why I'm kind of torn between the whole, should I go back to classic SIG or should I stick with a Glock when it comes to that? Because this will be going into my carry rotation, where my primary carry is my Beretta 92X. That's primarily what I have. What's up, Arsenal? Back in tree stand again, man. You like your tree stands on Saturday night, don't you? So, I mean, what I carry is a 9mm. When I carry a 45, the only 45 I have, this is why I'm kind of jumping on the 45 bandwagon. Not the bandwagon, but just want to go outside of that 9mm, is because the only 45 I has my 1911, and I love carrying it. But sometimes I just want something different for a 45. So that's why I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go with a new 45. So it's like I said, it's coming down to the 220 and the 30C or the 30. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, guys, so do you have any questions or anything you want to talk about in here or anything like that? Because we've been doing this for like 40 minutes. I feel like I'm going around in circles telling you the same things over and over again. This is one of those darn nights. Not unless they offer a slide mount safety. So, anyone got any questions before we call it a night? He said, because as much as I'd love to answer more questions, there was no questions. Okay, go ahead, Arsenal. What's your question, brother? It's about cleaning the pig. I don't know, man. I never cleaned a pig before. I like to eat pig though. That's pretty good. I had a really good roast last year. So I don't know what the guy's seasoning. I asked the guy what was seasoning. What was a G29 a consideration? The 29. 29. Isn't that the 357 SIG? I could be wrong. I don't remember. Or no, the three. Which one was it? Ever seen the new Gag Marine MREs? Nope, I've never seen those ones before, brother. So the 29. Now I'm trying to think of the Glock 29 is, and I can't think of it, man. There's the I don't know. Oh, 10 millimeter. No, 10 millimeter. I'm not in the 10 millimeter fan, man. So that's I'm like, oh, that's why, because I don't really pay attention to 10 millimeter stuff. Now I'm not a big fan of 10 millimeter, man. Not really, especially when the price of ammo and finding it out here is ridiculous. That's one of those ammos that you just don't find out here anymore. So it sucks. You can't find a lot of ammo. That's ammo you just can't. I have full size skips. Oh, Sig Scorpion is a beautiful gun, man. Every couple $100 difference, Springfield. I'll tell you what, that Scorpion, that Sig Scorpion, those are beautiful. The Emperor Scorpion's cool, but not as cool as the original Sig Scorpion. I don't know what it is about those, almost the piranha grips is what they called them and stuff like that, but that was a cool looking gun. Now, here's the question when it comes to the SIGs in the 1911s, because a lot of people, if you look at a SIG 1911 next to a regular 1911, you'll notice the SIG 1911 actually looks like kind of more like, it kind of looks like a 1911, but it kind of looks like a classic SIG. So is a SIG Sauer 1911 a 1911 or is it a SIG? Oh, I'm curious. I understand you own 10 millimeters, rarely shoot them. I spend more time on my 40. Would you choose a Springfield M1A or Ruger American 308? I would. I have thought about that. I thought about the Springfield M1A or a SOCOM 16. That's what I thought about because that's, a smaller version of M1A. Comes with crayons and Elmer glue. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, crayon eating was after my time. We didn't eat crayons. Now they eat crayons. We didn't eat crayons. We just drank Tabasco sauce. That's different. So they'll produce one just called the Fab 92. So I don't know. But anyway, guys, we've been on for about 40 minutes, give or take. So we're probably gonna be calling it a night here. So if anyone has anything else they want to say, now would be the time. All right. I gotta go upstairs and actually tuck my youngest into bed here soon. All right. Well, if I don't see any questions in the next like 30 seconds, give or take, we are going to call it a night. So, no joke. Can you Google them? I believe it, man. I believe it. Are they at least different flavored other than crayon? Because crayon don't taste. I mean, I wouldn't know what crayons taste like. Marines. No. Let's see. Let's see. Check out DSA SA58 once. I'll take a look, man. I'll take a look. So, all right. So I am gonna call it a night, guys. All right. Like I said, I go tuck my youngest into bed. So, if you like this video, guys, like, share, subscribe. I'm not there anymore, Arsenal. Not there anymore. So, interesting story behind that, but I'm not gonna get into it. But anyway, guys. So if you like this video, guys, like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about me, guys. And remember, guys, it's our responsibility to take care of each other and protect each other, guys. Peace.